Today, we're diving into an educational framework that's built for a future we can't even see yet. It's the International Baccalaureate's Primary Years Program, or as you'll hear it called, the PYP. Let's get into what makes it so different.
So let's start with the big question, right? This is probably the central challenge facing all of us in education today. The jobs of tomorrow, the problems, the technologies, a lot of it is a total mystery. So how on earth do you prepare a kid for a future you can't even predict? Well, the IB's answer to that huge question is the Primary Years Program. It's an approach that completely shifts the focus, away from just memorizing a bunch of facts and dates, and moves it towards creating kids who are adaptable, super curious, and really resilient. Okay, so what does that actually look like in a classroom? Well, at its very core, the PYP is all about breaking down the traditional walls we put up between subjects, and it does that through a really powerful process called inquiry. Think about traditional school for a second. It's usually a set of separate boxes, right? You have your math class, then the bell rings, you go to science, then history. The PYP approach basically dissolves those boxes. It connects ideas across subjects, because let's be real, in the actual world, problems don't care about subject boundaries.
Now, the official term for this is a transdisciplinary framework. That might sound a little academic, but the key phrase to hang on to here is conceptual understanding. This means it's not just about what you know, it's about seeing the big ideas, the concepts that connect everything together. And the engine that really drives this whole thing, it's this idea of student agency. In the PYP, kids aren't just sitting there waiting to be filled up with information. No way. They're actual partners in their own learning. They're encouraged to take initiative, ask their own questions, and really take ownership, which builds this incredible sense of self-efficacy, that deep down belief that they can figure things out and make an impact.
But you might be wondering, doesn't that just get messy? How do you give learning some structure with all this freedom? Well, the PYP provides a kind of map for all this exploration, and it's built around 6 big global themes. These 6 themes are really the backbone of the entire curriculum. They're huge, universal ideas that are timeless. They guide students to dig into some of the most important issues facing all of us, from something really personal like who we are, all the way to massive global challenges like sharing the planet. And this is what makes the learning feel so real and authentic. For example, a project on sharing the planet isn't just a science lesson about ecosystems. It could pull in math to look at data, social studies to understand different cultures' relationships with the environment, and even art to express ideas about conservation. It's all woven together. So how does this all begin? How do you build this foundation in the very earliest years of school? For the little ones, ages 3 to 5, the PYP says that the most powerful form of inquiry is something we adults sometimes forget about: play. I absolutely love this quote from the IB. It just gets right to the heart of their whole philosophy for early learners. Play isn't just a fun break from learning. In the PYP, play is the learning. It's the serious work of being a child. And you know what? The research totally backs this up. This kind of play-based inquiry builds the entire foundation for learning. It sparks that natural curiosity, it gets creativity flowing, and it gives kids the confidence to try things out and discover stuff for themselves. These are the skills that stick with you for life. And here's what a parent had to say about it. You can see they really appreciate how flexible it is. It respects that every kid develops at their own speed. The whole one-size-fits-all model just gets thrown out the window. And then you hear from a teacher, and you can just feel their excitement. They see how this philosophy transforms everything they do in the classroom into a chance for kids to explore and ask questions. And that's just so empowering, not just for the students, but for the teachers too. Okay, so what does it actually take for a school to adopt a program like this? Well, it means becoming part of a global community that has some seriously high standards. Becoming an IB World School is a huge commitment. It's not just a label. There's a really strict authorization process to make sure the quality is top-notch. Teachers get continuous professional development, and the whole curriculum is built on the best research from all over the world. This creates this incredible standard of excellence that's recognized everywhere, which, by the way, is a massive plus for families who move around. And for any educators or school leaders watching this who are feeling inspired, the IB makes it really easy to learn more. You can just scan this code, and it'll take you right where you need to go to explore what it takes to bring this to your own school.
So, as we start to wrap this up, it's pretty clear that the goal here is so much bigger than just getting kids through elementary school. It's really about setting them up for a lifelong journey of learning. If there's one single thing you take away from all this, let it be this. The PYP is designed to nurture the whole child. It's a system that deliberately weaves together social skills, emotional health, and physical development right alongside the academics. Because at the end of the day, the goal isn't just a good test score, it's to spark a genuine, deep, lifelong love of learning.
And that kind of leaves us with one final thought to chew on. The PYP really reframes the whole purpose of education. It makes you wonder, what if the most important skill we can give our kids isn't knowing how to find the right answer, but having the curiosity and the guts to ask better, deeper questions?